For years, we've been told that working out improves everything, from your mood to your metabolism to your confidence. But one question that continues to spark curiosity and sometimes skepticism is this: does working out actually improve your sex life? Not in theory, not in casual assumptions, but in real physical, emotional, and psychological ways. It's a topic worth more than locker room banter or vague fitness slogans. Because beneath the surface of sweaty gym routines and sculpted physiques lies a complex interaction between body chemistry, hormonal balance, emotional well-being, and sexual vitality. The first thing to understand is that sex isn't just a physical act. It is a full-body, full-mind experience. It requires energy, circulation, hormonal health, emotional presence, and a sense of confidence in your own body. And in all those dimensions, exercise plays a direct and often underestimated role. When you train your body, you're not just building muscle or burning fat. You're sending signals to your brain and your endocrine system, telling them that you're alive, engaged, and ready to thrive. Take testosterone, for example. It's often labeled the male hormone, though both men and women produce it. In men, however, it's crucial for maintaining libido, strength, mood, and sexual performance. That means strength training, lifting, moving weight, challenging your body in a way that tells it, I need to be strong, I need to stay young, I need to produce energy. And your body responds. When you engage in this kind of physical stress, controlled, progressive, and intentional, your testosterone levels begin to rise. Your circulation improves, your metabolism resets, and slowly you start to notice shifts, not just in your physique, but in how you feel in your skin. You walk differently, you think more clearly, your desire returns, not only sexually, but in how you approach life itself. But it's not just about hormones, it's about blood flow. One of the biggest physical factors behind sexual performance, especially in men, is circulation. Erections are quite literally a vascular event. The ability to maintain one depends on healthy arteries, a strong heart, and low levels of inflammation. Cardio-based training, such as running, swimming, or cycling, has been shown to strengthen the heart, lower blood pressure, and improve endothelial function, the very mechanisms responsible for blood flow in intimate moments. This connection isn't just speculative. Men who engage in regular aerobic and strength training routines consistently report improvements in sexual function, stamina, and satisfaction. And it's not because their abs suddenly became more attractive. It's because their bodies are functioning better. Blood is moving more efficiently, muscles are more responsive, recovery is faster, nerves are more sensitive, and perhaps most importantly, stress levels are lower. Stress is a silent killer of desire. When you're chronically anxious, overworked, or emotionally overwhelmed, your cortisol levels stay elevated, and high cortisol, over time, kills testosterone, blunts arousal, disrupts sleep, and dulls the very excitement that fuels healthy sexuality. Exercise, especially high-intensity or strength-based training, has the power to interrupt that cycle. It burns off cortisol, it clears mental fog, it brings you back to your body. And that matters, because sex at its best isn't just about performance, it's about presence. It's about being connected to yourself so you can connect with someone else. And one of the biggest reasons so many people struggle with intimacy today is that they are too disconnected from their own physical experience. They live in their heads, on their screens, in their stress, and they forget what it feels like to be grounded, powerful, and alive. That's why consistent movement matters, not just for how you look, but for how you feel in your body. When you train, you re-establish that mind-body link. You start to experience your own strength, your breath, your capacity to push through resistance and emerge more focused on the other side. That's the same kind of presence and resilience required in a healthy sexual connection. You're not hiding. You're not overthinking. You're showing up fully, physically and emotionally. Confidence also plays a massive role in this equation. And it's not just about having a chiseled chest or low body fat. Real confidence, the kind that makes you magnetic in a relationship or intimate setting, comes from keeping promises to yourself, from doing hard things consistently, from feeling like you're in control of your own growth. When you train regularly, you start to trust yourself more. You become less reactive, more centered. You carry yourself differently. That posture, that energy, it's felt. It changes how others see you and how you see yourself. And there's more. Exercise also improves sleep quality. Good sleep is absolutely essential to a healthy sex drive and performance. When you're well rested, your body resets hormonally. Testosterone is naturally produced during deep sleep cycles. Your mind is clearer, your stress response is lower, and your recovery, both from workouts and from the emotional demands of life, is more complete. People who work out regularly tend to fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up with more natural energy. And that energy spills over into how they relate to others, into their intimacy, into their ability to give and receive connection. For many men, another quiet benefit of training is that it gives them a healthy outlet for urges and energy. Let's be honest, in a world of constant digital stimulation, it's easy to fall into patterns of distraction, scrolling, isolating, numbing, even compulsive behaviors that eventually erode sexual vitality. When you channel that restless energy into something productive, like lifting, sprinting, or pushing your limits, your cravings for artificial stimulation begin to fade. You no longer need quick fixes because you're plugged back into your body. You're generating your own momentum, not seeking it externally. Working out also subtly improves how your partner experiences you, not just because of physical changes, but because of the emotional shifts that come from discipline, strength, and inner calm. You become more reliable, more intentional, more open. That kind of presence is rare in today's distracted world, and it builds trust, which is foundational for deeper intimacy. And for those in long-term relationships, exercise can be a shared ritual. Training together builds connection. It becomes a space where you grow side by side, encourage each other and witness each other's strength. That shared physicality can reignite attraction, deepen emotional bonds, and foster a kind of mutual respect that spills over into the bedroom. Because intimacy isn't built in a vacuum, it's built in the everyday rhythms of life, through how you treat yourself, how you show up, and how you evolve as a person. What's even more fascinating is how the benefits of exercise ripple into the brain. Movement boosts dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, the very chemicals tied to motivation, pleasure, and reward. These are the same systems involved in sexual desire and satisfaction. When your brain is firing on all cylinders, when your mood is elevated naturally, your capacity to experience joy, connection, and fulfillment expands. You're not chasing highs, you're living in one. Of course, none of this is to say that working out is a magic pill. No routine, no matter how intense or consistent, can fix a relationship built on poor communication or erase emotional wounds left unhealed. But it can provide a foundation, a stronger, healthier version of you from which to engage more fully with the people you love. It's not about perfection, it's about presence, about being well enough, clear enough, and confident enough to connect without distraction or shame. There's also a psychological dimension that often gets overlooked. Men who work out regularly often report an increased sense of control over their lives. They feel more disciplined, more capable of setting boundaries, more tuned in to what they want and don't want. That clarity is incredibly important in relationships, especially when it comes to sex. Knowing your needs, expressing your desires, and feeling safe doing so all start with self-respect. And physical training done right is one of the most effective ways to build that inner respect. On a deeper level, movement reminds us that we're alive. In a culture that can numb us into passivity, training wakes up the nervous system, sharpens the senses, and rekindles the part of us that still wants to chase, explore, and feel deeply. When we forget to move, we slowly stop feeling. And when we stop feeling, our relationships suffer, not just sexually, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Working out isn't just a lifestyle choice, it's a way of reconnecting with the raw, vital energy that fuels not just attraction, but connection. In many ways, your body keeps score. It remembers when you neglect it, when you avoid discomfort, when you ignore what it's trying to tell you. But it also remembers when you return to it, when you choose to train, to sweat, to breathe deeply again, to rebuild what stress, aging, and distraction have worn down. And in that process, sex becomes less about fixing something and more about expressing something, your strength, your joy, your presence, your willingness to connect. So does working out improve your sex life? The answer overwhelmingly is yes, but not because it makes you more attractive in a shallow way. It improves it because it makes you more available to yourself, to your partner, and to the moment. It creates the physical health, the hormonal support, the emotional resilience, and the mental clarity necessary for meaningful, fulfilling intimacy. It helps you show up more fully, more confidently, more alive. And in a world where disconnection has become the norm, that kind of presence isn't just attractive, it's powerful, it's rare, it's what intimacy truly thrives on. So if you've been training already, now you know every rep, every mile, every drop of sweat is doing more than shaping your body. It's shaping your connection to life. And if you haven't started yet, this might be your invitation, not just to look better, but to feel more, to live more, to love more. Because the strongest body is the one that helps you show up, with heart, with desire, and with presence where it matters most.